Hi, I'm Angie and you're watching Dante's Vaccination.
You know, I always say on this channel, pay-per-view fights should actually be free. And now the day has come where I'm about to hook you up with an app where you can watch all your pay-per-view events, boxing, UFC, etc. for free. I want to introduce Block TV, the best internet streaming television app out there. They provide over 3,600 channels, including HBO, Cinemax, Showtime, and Starz. They have a massive video on demand library with over 40,000 of the new release movies and the latest TV series. And it also includes DVR. So you're getting all of this for $34.99 a month. And once again, that includes free pay-per-view. So this one right here is a no-brainer, guys, because back in Las Vegas, I was paying damn near $200 a month for my cable. Those days are long gone now. So to get the app, make sure you guys go over to getblocktv.com and put in my promo code and get 30% off your first month. You also get a free month for every friend you refer. The promo code is DBNation. Also, since a lot of you guys have been asking, this package does include the zone fights. The zone fights will be on Sky Sports. Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? So about a week ago, Manny Pacquiao's trainer, Freddie Roach, he said that they're really interested in moving up to fight one of the top middleweights, but they specifically pointed out Gennady Golovkin. Now you have to understand something. When Freddie Roach says they want someone, that usually means Manny Pacquiao wants them too. Just like when Freddie Roach says we don't want to fight someone, that means Manny Pacquiao, he doesn't want to fight them either. Because when Freddie Roach said we want Keith Thurman, the fight came to fruition. When Freddie Roach openly said they did not want to fight Terrence Crawford, Freddie Roach said Terrence Crawford reminds him of a Floyd Mayweather with power. They didn't want to fight Terrence Crawford at the time. So the fight never happened at that time. However, Manny Pacquiao's had a little bit of change of heart. I think he has a little bit more confidence after getting these two big wins back to back, fighting against young fighters, beating Adrian Broner and Keith Thurman. But going back to Gennady Golovkin, this brings me to the point I was making, which is, once again, when Freddie Roach says, we want this guy, they're serious about it. And I think it's a great move. I think it's a great move, and I believe Manny Pacquiao, he beats Gennady Golovkin. Manny Pacquiao beats Gennady Golovkin. He may not beat Errol Spence. He may not beat Terrence Crawford, but he can beat Gennady Golovkin. In fact, I'm telling you right now, he will beat Gennady Golovkin if they face off. There's obviously a reason why they want him in particular. Although it's obvious Gennady Golovkin is much bigger than Manny Pacquiao, his style is tailor-made for Manny Pacquiao because he's flat-footed and he's one-dimensional. Sure, he has a great jab. Now, and I would have told you guys that that jab is really going to be a problem for Manny Pacquiao, but since Manny Pacquiao is a southpaw, I don't think Golovkin is going to be that effective with it. I'm not saying that this is going to be a super easy fight for Manny Pacquiao. It will be a competitive fight for as long as it lasts, but I truly believe the angles and the speed will give Gennady Golovkin way too many problems. Because I can tell you right now, if Manny Pacquiao was able to make Keith Thurman look as slow as molasses, he's going to make Golovkin look even slower because Golovkin is slower than Keith Thurman. So I believe going the Gennady Golovkin route would be a smart move. It makes a lot of sense for all the right reasons. And it certainly makes a lot of sense when it comes to Manny Pacquiao's legacy that he's going to leave behind. But I keep telling you guys, the better Manny Pacquiao's legacy looks, the better his accomplishments are, the greater it makes Floyd Mayweather. Because you have to remember, by way of contrast, Manny Pacquiao was offered huge money on 2 occasions to fight Canelo Alvarez years ago. He turned it down twice. The same Canelo Alvarez that Canelo fans would later on make excuses for him losing to Mayweather, saying, oh, well, he was too young, he was inexperienced. Well, Manny Pacquiao didn't feel that way because Manny Pacquiao still refused to fight the 23-year-old Canelo, the 24-year-old Canelo. He wanted no parts of him because of his skill set, because of his youth, and because of his natural size. So the fact that to this day, Manny Pacquiao still would rather fight a Gennady Golovkin over a Canelo Alvarez, it gives you more of an idea of what level Floyd Mayweather is on. And I know all that truth right there is really gonna hurt you decafs. But you gotta remember, just like I always say, when you go to the hospital, when you go see your doctor, tell you the truth, regardless if it's something you want to hear or something you do not want to hear, right? I mean, are you gonna say to your doctor, oh man, you're just hating talking about I got high blood pressure now, or I got diabetes. You just don't like me, that's why you said that, huh, doctor? You're gonna get the whole truth over here, regardless if it makes you feel good or it makes you cry. Everything Manny Pacquiao is doing today is making Floyd Mayweather look even Once greater. Again, Manny Pacquiao, he just beat Keith Thurman, who was 10 years younger than him, right? Keith Thurman was around, 30 years old? But guess what? Floyd Mayweather, he beat Manny Pacquiao, 5 years ago now? When he was older than Manny Pacquiao. So not only did the older Floyd Mayweather do something that the much younger Keith Thurman couldn't even do, but Floyd Mayweather did it to a Manny Pacquiao that was much younger himself. Manny Pacquiao, there's no doubt he's a great fighter. Of course, there will always be some asterisk next to some of his wins, because this is a day and age where everyone has subjected themselves to strenuous Olympic-style drug testing through VADA, USADA, either one. And this is the time when Manny Pacquiao, he decides he doesn't want to go through this type of strenuous testing when he fights against Keith Thurman. That's obviously gonna look suspicious. And just to reiterate the point, imagine if all of us were working for the same company, right? And everyone was supposed to get random drug tested today. And it was only one person in there that says, I refuse to do it, I'm not gonna do it. What would everyone think? Everyone would think that that person is dirty. Everyone would think that that person is doping, doing something, right? So that's gonna be the suspicion when it comes to Manny Pacquiao. You would think after the long history of Manny Pacquiao turning down the first Floyd Mayweather fight in 2008 because he didn't want to do drug testing, or he didn't want to do, once again, Olympic-style drug testing, you would think today that he would do whatever it takes to make sure he's testing now to prove people that that wasn't the case back then, but he does the complete opposite. So he's gonna have to deal with that, but overall, there's no doubt about it, he has a great legacy, finishing in second place behind Floyd Mayweather. And like I told you guys a long time ago before, that's what happens when you lose the most important fight of your career. That fight is considered the fight of the century, not just the fight of the decade. That was considered the fight of the century. And Manny Pacquiao, he lost that fight. That's like Muhammad Ali losing both first two fights. I know they fought 3 times, but it wouldn't have been a third fight if he would have lost the rematch. So imagine if Muhammad Ali would have lost the first 2 fights to Joe Frazier. Imagine if Sugar Ray Leonard would have lost to Tommy Hearns and he never avenged that Roberto Duran loss. I mean, imagine if Floyd would have lost to Manny Pacquiao. It's funny because I was actually covering a lot of fights in Las Vegas. I remember we were at the Deontay Wilder, Wilder versus Bermane Stiverne, the first fight press conference. Oscar De La Hoya was still working with Deontay Wilder and a lot of Al Haymon fighters before, they took off and did their own thing. So anyway, we were doing a roundtable. You guys could still see the videos on my channel. And this roundtable had absolutely nothing to do with Floyd Mayweather. But for some reason, all of these old white media members, they start grilling Floyd Mayweather on basically blaming him for not fighting Manny Pacquiao, when once again, I've already told you, we have footage. I have footage. I have the interview. If you guys have never seen it, I have footage proving that even Manny Pacquiao's own trainer, Freddie Roach, he admitted that it was their fault that the fight didn't happen in the first place because Manny Pacquiao refused to take the drug test. But I tell you guys all of that just to say this. These reporters that were obviously extremely biased, racially biased towards Floyd Mayweather, I remember 2 of them were having a conversation just completely trying to discredit Floyd for everything he did, how he was this massive ducker, didn't want to fight anyone. I mean, the way they were talking about him, you would have thought that Floyd Mayweather had a career like Gennady Golovkin. I tell you guys all of this just to say this. They were talking to each other and they all agreed if Floyd Mayweather doesn't fight and beat Manny Pacquiao, he can never be considered as the greatest or the greatest of this era, etc., etc. They were saying something on those lines. So once again, that's how important it was for Manny Pacquiao to win that fight. Those racist, biased old media members, they just proved the point. They just corroborated everything I said about Manny Pacquiao, thinking that they were going to use that against Floyd Mayweather, but it backfired on them. Because deep down in their hearts, like a lot of fans, they were really hoping that Floyd never fought Manny Pacquiao so they can continue to criticize that he didn't fight him. Now, would it surprise you that those same group of media members, they never had this conversation saying these things about a Gennady Golovkin? When he refused to fight Jamal Charlo, refused to fight Demetrius Andrade, refused to fight Andre Ward. Instead of fighting pound for pound the best fighter in the world, Andre Ward, he chose to fight Marco Antonio Rubio. Did they talk about that? Rhetorical question. So I believe the Manny Pacquiao fight would look a lot like the Oscar De La Hoya, the Pacquiao versus De La Hoya fight. You know, everyone wrote off Manny Pacquiao, thought Pacquiao had no chance, and then once he beat Oscar De La Hoya easy, then of course everyone made excuses for Manny Pacquiao beating him or for Oscar De La Hoya losing to him. If Manny Pacquiao does beat or does fight and beat Gennady Golovkin, the excuses will pretty much be the same. They'll say, oh, well, you know, Golovkin was already over the hill and et cetera, et cetera. Well, that's a shame for Gennady Golovkin, even if he is over the hill, because that means he didn't do anything when he was in his prime. He avoided the best competition when he was in his prime, and towards the end of his career, he finally got beat by a much smaller and older Manny Pacquiao. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one.
Are you ready to take your striking game to the next level? Then you've got to get the focus ball. Dramatically improved footwork, timing, reflex, hand-eye coordination, head movement, and striking IQ. Lightweight and extremely portable, so you can train every time, everywhere with the focus ball.